Hi, good day everyone. This is Brian from Brian Chinito 89 TV. On my last video, we discussed the profile page or your resume in Upwork. I also shared tips that works for me, doesn't work for me, and also to some of my past videos, I also shared to you details like how to first how to create an Upwork account, step by step process, and then I also shared to you if you're looking for a specific job, how to do it, and some tips on how to detect if a company is legit or not. All right. For instance, you're able to find a job that you like to apply to. So for today, we'll be discussing your application process. Just for today, okay, just to help you prepare for your dream job in Upwork, I will be speaking in straight English because our topic for today is how to win your job application. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so most of the time, okay, um, you will either you or the client will set up a meeting schedule with you. All right, so be sure to adhere with the schedule. Okay, at least be on the meeting schedule 10 to 15 minutes ahead of time. Right now, because of our current health situation, most actually in Upwork, regardless if there's a pandemic or not, the interview will always be online because it's an online platform, right? Just make sure that you attend your meeting or your schedule ahead of time, like 10 to 15 minutes will be a good time to, prepare yourself and, at least browse or check the company's information so that you would have a background whenever they try to ask you for any questions. Also, it will also show how prepared you are during the interview because if they try to ask questions and you can correlate your answers to the company's mission value, then it will be a plus points for you. Okay, so while the questions that you can see on the screen right now are not being asked so much right now, okay, I still wanted to give emphasis on this one because based on my experience, there's still some employers that still do ask the questions, right? And also, these are we thought or we think simple questions, but when we are in the situation being asked of these questions, sometimes we get black out. So let's try to give some tips on how we deal with these questions. Like number one, tell me something about yourself. So you can be as simple as possible because they're not really after about your most beautiful credentials or whatever, but they are trying to check your communication skills, how fast you can answer the questions. So just briefly introduce yourself like, hi, my name is Brian. I'm currently living in Manila, Philippines. As you can see on my resume, I've been working as blah, 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 as a professional in the business process outsourcing industry. And also, during my free time, I'm also teaching English to foreign nationals. If I'm not working, my favorite hobby is watching Netflix, reading books, and having some small chat with my friends. So in that way, okay, the employer will somehow know what kind of person you are because aside from your communication skills, they're also checking your personality, right? So they're also looking at if your personality matches with their culture. It's one of the I think one of the factors that they also check whenever they do hire people, right? In Upwork. Next one, your strengths and weaknesses, right? So it's a it's kind of tricky question, but um, actually even myself, I also had some difficult times answering this question at times. But you can say that you can start with your weakness, right? You can try to transition your answer into that. In the end, it will be something positive, right? So for instance, I'd say that, well, at times I have a short temper. So whenever I do, okay, I would normally go out, like have a cup of coffee, and then breathe in, and then have a plate of my favorite spaghetti. Right. So, you started a little bad, but you ended a little positive. Okay. But it's up to you on how you would like to answer these questions. But you make sure that the ending statement will have a greater impact to the employer. Okay. um, Next one, I think one of the most important questions that will be asked to you: what can you contribute to the company? Right. So here you can highlight your qualification, okay, also your expertise for the role. Okay. So well, I've been working in the account management industry for quite some time now. The knowledge that I gain from this industry will be beneficial to my role if ever you'll go. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. The my expertise and my knowledge gained through my past jobs actually gives me the qualification and the edge for the role. Okay. um I can share to you blah 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 blah. Okay, it's up to you on how to answer those questions. Actually, on all of these questions, there are no formats to follow. Okay, it's really up on what is the role that you're applying to. Okay, be sure to read the job description, and then be sure to familiarize yourself with your resume too. Okay, because in that way you'll be able to correlate the questions and your answers to your resume, and plus points if you can read the mission and vision statement of the company. Right. So the third question might be a little harder one, but you can correlate it to your experiences as a professional employee. Okay. So during the conversation, okay, based on my experience, okay, so be enthusiastic, all right. So be whenever they tell something about the company, whenever they try to share a story, try to acknowledge it, be enthusiastic about every information that you hear. Remember, this is the application process, and they're also checking how attentive you are as a listener, okay, because this is one of the important skills that you will be needing for any kind of job. Okay, also be conversational, right? So don't just be like a static applicant, right? So whenever they share stories, try to give feedback. Oh, that's great, that's great to hear. Oh, I appreciate that, I appreciate the gesture. So just comment on whatever they try to say on a timely manner. Okay, you don't have to do it every time. And then be genuinely interested. All right, so how do you manifest that? By asking questions, right? So for example, the role is an encoder. Okay, so okay, I think it's an interesting job, but what exactly do you want me to accomplish? Like the KPI, the key performance indicators, and others, right? So that the employer would know that okay, he's really into it, he's interested, he's asking questions, and then after the whole interview process, try to ask what are the recruitment, what would be the next steps, so that you also be able to manage expectations, right? So that the employer and you are on the same page, right? So basically, these are just some of the tips. There's a lot of tips out there that you can find, but I just wanted to make it as simple as possible for you. Okay, right now I think it's a challenging times for us to look for a job. Others, even though they do perform well in the interview, sometimes someone better might come in. So, try to be engaging whenever you try to have an interview with your potential employer. All right. So that's it. Okay. So I'm hoping that I was able to share some tips on how to win your job application. So, just a small favor, please do follow my social media accounts. You can find me at Brian Chinito 89 in Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And also, if you have any questions, suggestions, or clarifications, you can also email me at briansanico@gmail.com. Again, this is Brian from Brian Chinito 89 TV. Have a great day. Bye.